welcome to MT Guitar and to Pink Floyd Friday. What a day. Today we're looking at David Gilmour's brand new album. If you're watching this video as it releases, we're just a week out since the release, and it's a very exciting time. It's been, 8 or 9 years since Rattle That Lock, David Gilmour's previous solo album, which I was a huge fan of. I went to that tour, saw it at the Hollywood Bowl, and I was a fan of On an Island. Huge fan of that album as well. So David Gilmour's solo albums have just been always great. This is no exception, and I'm very excited after just listening to this a little bit. And I highly recommend checking out the whole album and watching some excellent videos that Gilmour and his team have put out about the producer and the songwriting, and it's just a fantastically done album, I believe. And this is the title track. I can't stress enough how almost trance-like this song is, and it reminds me of a blues groove that's very deep. It almost reminds me of like a John Lee Hooker, just hypnotic, bluesy thing. So that's kind of the part going on. And before we break that down, Richard Wright is playing on this jam session from like 2007 or something, but they're playing in a jam session at David Gilmour's barn studio. They've incorporated that into the recording. It's very special, so you can see a little bit of footage of Richard Wright playing on this, and his keys are an excellent addition to it. So obviously a very touching thing there. So that being said, there's two things going on. There's Gilmour's part, which kind of is slightly different from Richard Wright and the bass's part. So Gilmour's part is these harmonics here with an E bass. It's basically an E minor 7, right? Looks like a G triad though, but it is over an E bass. And then he goes C to D, which is very interesting. It's like basically the two major chords in the minor key that are right there. Okay, there's also G, so those are the three major chords. Kind of an interesting fact there, but it's just basically going to a D major, and the C triad is just a passing triad. Okay? Then a little bit of an E minor pentatonic fill. So this is nicely contrasting with Richard Wright's part, which is basically just foregoing the C and going straight from E minor to D in a syncopated rhythm like that kind of thing, Right? Okay, so you can basically play rhythm with E minor and D. And then as far as the rhythm, this is in like a 4/4 shuffle. But one thing you can think of is that each beat in that blues shuffle, that blues swing, is a triplet. All right, so that's the last triplet that's the fourth beat, right? For a triplet. Right, so if I play in a triplet form, right, just want to feel that. So I'm playing triplet fills in a Gilmour style, and that's allowing us to access the underlying groove, not just the downbeat of the blues. Okay, so really interesting. Gilmour's licks are incredible in this solo, and we're going to do a separate video on the licks. But I highly recommend you try this as a blues workout groove, even, I just was finding myself having a good time. Don't want to be too busy, right? He does it very masterfully. So he's got, a separate guitar part for the solo and for the licks, but you can just do this on one guitar. I'll write out the basic rhythm part and a few of his fills as well. Let's just break it down together. We don't even need to zoom in. It's pretty easy. We're going to do bass, 6th string, and then at the same time we hit 12th fret harmonic, 4/3, 2nd strings. Okay? Then 5th fret, 2nd and 3rd strings minimum. You can also do the 4th string, but it's kind of nice to start with just the 2nd and 3rd string. Now 7th fret, 2nd and 3rd string, and then you hit a bass note between, so the 6th string. Okay, so that's, see, so it's bass, bass, and G, C, D. Now, the first time no fills, we do the same thing, except the bass comes before the chord. Then we go back to, now we're going to go little fill there. Slide up to 7th fret on the bass string, 5, 7, E minor pentatonic. So that's, okay, next fill. You can just have this next part be open E string. We don't need the harmonic every time. Now I'm going to add the 4th string on the 5th fret to get the whole C and D triads there. Now we're going to go a nice fill here. Here's 7th fret. We're going to hit the blues note, which is the flat 5, and slide really quick. Wait a little bit to slide, and then you instantly slide back and pull off. Okay, it's just a little trill there. Back to your root, 5th string. So 4th string, slower, and you instantly hit with the harmonics, which is kind of tough to get back there in time. And then you have your triads again. All right, so C and D are triads in the E minor scale. So without changing the bass, on the C, we can still play that triad, and then the D and the keys, the bass and the keys go to D. So that triad matches with the bass. But the C triad is just over an E minor bass, so very Gilmour-esque. I think that does it. Then, oh, what am I talking about? That does it. We have a C major 7 over the next section, and then to D. Actually, I take that back. Do a bar chord D because of the nature of the distortion. It sounds a little better with a bar chord there. So we're going to do C major 7. You don't even need to bar this, so it's 3, 5, 4, 5, open. D bar chord twice. Back to here. So it's just using these variations. Now the only other section would be the bridge. We go basically very cool chromatic bass line descent. All right, so we're going to start with G over D, 5, 5, 4, 3, O. Very nice chord here. It's like a E minor 7 over D. Okay. Now E minor over C sharp, I think. Although you could make an argument that it's C sharp half diminished. Okay, either one. That's 4, 5, 4, 5. Very cool chord. Now C major 7, also E minor over C is one way to look at it. But C major 7 here, and then E minor, and that bass line has resolved to the 2nd fret. So that's a really cool part. So 3, 4. This is when he sings really high. Very great part. Okay. Back to the... So it seems pretty simple, right? But it's just really deep with this groove and with these other sections as well. All the triads and chords of the key are coming to life there. I'm very excited to keep listening to this album. I hope you enjoyed this breakdown. I think we'll revisit this album quite a bit. Stay tuned for more. I hope you're doing well. Check out the Patreon. Thank you to all the patrons there. Remember to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and the thumbs up. We'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.